My name's Hutch, I make videos and put them on the internet, and welcome to today's video. Normally I post Quality Time with Hutch episodes on Friday, but these last couple weeks have been crazy busy, and so I just got a little bit behind schedule. I'm really excited about this week's guest because he is, I'm gonna say, he's pretty much the reason why I got into YouTubing in the first place. During my meteoric rise on YouTube, once upon a time, people used to call me the godfather of YouTube. This is how I see GRIZZ. He is the godfather of YouTube in my mind, and his videos basically inspired me to buy a capture card and start making my own videos. So without further ado, let me introduce you to GRIZZ. Sit back, relax, enjoy the video.
What's up, you guys? My name's Hutch. I'm a gaming sex icon, and holy shit, I've got probably the mother of all OGs, at least in my mind. A legend by the name of zzirGrizz. How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. So for people who don't know who you are, so maybe like people that are new to the YouTube gaming space, why don't you talk a little bit about what you used to do back in the day and what that whole experience was like for you?
All right. Well, I mean, I started out like I was probably one of the first people to record gameplay on the Xbox 360.
Can you think of anybody off the top of your head that did it before you?
There was a couple videos that I watched, but like the mainstay was all PC. I couldn't find any videos at all on, how to record on console. And I spent like over $2,000 on like players that said that, you can capture, whatever's going on your TV, all kinds of shit, dude. I blew $2,000 and spent countless hours, and I found out it was just a $60 dazzle. So
what did you spend $2,000 on?
I'm telling you, man. I was buying like these high grade DVD players / burners. Like I was trying to burn them onto a disc and then transfer them to my PC. I was trying anything and everything because once I saw some of these that were going on PC, I was like, dude, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Like, it just looked like so much fun because I have a really creative side, and I wanted to show that.
What about it was so attractive to you? What about it looked so much fun?
I don't know. I mean, I've been gaming my whole life, since I was 5 years old. But just to see, people doing what I Call of Duty at the time, and they're over here making these videos, man, using, back in the day before YouTube and all this other shit, you could use like some really good music. You could use Pantera,
Yep.
all these good ass bands, and I was like, dude, this is bad. I don't know. It just hooked me. I was instantly hooked before I even started, because most people get, inspiration and they start looking up stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I did the same thing, but it was on a different scale because I had no clue what I was doing, where I was going with it.
Yeah.
And it just blew the fuck up.
I remember you and Syfax, but mostly you guys were the ones that I was watching before it even occurred to me to buy a capture card myself. And
yeah.
I remember like back then, like over 1,000 views was like a lot, and you had I want to say you had like 7 or 8 different montages spanning from COD 2 to COD 4 when I found your channel, and you were doing stuff that I had never seen anyone like. It wouldn't have even occurred to me to jump with a scoped rifle, like to take cover behind a dumpster and then jump above it and then shoot someone that way. It wouldn't have even entered my mind, but it seemed like your whole approach to YouTubing and video making was trying to figure out ways to kill people in a video game with the most style of anything else out there that was out there on YouTube. That seemed to be your number one goal. And I used to check your channel, pretty much every day to see if you posted something new for a little bit.
Well, well, back in the day, it was a lot easier to make montages, because there wasn't many people doing it. The standards weren't as high, so it was nothing for you to put out a montage like once a week.
Yeah.
You get a no-scope across the map, maybe a double headshot, you're good, man. Piece that shit together, throw some music, Pinnacle Studio for the win, and call it good. But
I did way better when the standards were lower, way better. But like the young kids just dusted me after a while. I'm like, I can't do that. I just can't do what they're doing.
Come on, man.
I mean, you may be able to, but I mean, I mean, it felt like to me that the emphasis became more about making 4 consecutive names pop up in a kill feed instead of how cool the actual clip was. So it didn't matter. Didn't matter if your team was losing like 200 to 250, to 230 in a game at headquarters. As long as you were rushing spawn and filling up the kill feed, then that became the standard of a cool montage. And I never liked that too much. I wanted to see people playing against players that weren't dog shit. I wanted to see people that were actually trying to win. I wanted to see more than just filling up a kill feed. I don't know what your feelings are on that, but that's how I felt by the end of it.
Oh, I'm exactly the same way, man. When it comes to like montages, I'll look at little stuff like that. I'm gonna look to see, if you're on a kill streak, what the score is. I look to a lot of different things. I don't just focus there in the feed, and I'll watch a montage like 3 or 4 different times just to pick up on little things. Not just the player does, but the editor does. I mean, everything, the complete aspect of the montage has to come out to you. Otherwise, yeah, you're just gonna get burnt out. You're gonna stare at that bottom left screen. You're not even know what the fuck's going on, and that's, to me, that's what's kind of killing the montage scene as it is. It's overly saturated with people looking at the bottom left, or top right, I guess, if you're playing a different game. But yeah, I mean, I look at all that stuff, man. And when it comes to making montages, like I'm doing one right now, Modern Warfare Remastered, so I can do the G-Shot tutorial remastered.
G-Shot. I'm telling you, man, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the G-Shot might be a myth. But I've seen you use it like 1,000 times, so I don't even know.
At the end, I've actually got the video. I made a second G-Shot, an actual tutorial, probably about a month after the first one I released. And video at the end of this montage, and I mean, it's still with the Dazzle capture card. It's, it's old school, but I go through and I talk about it, and I pulled off consecutively across the map like 15 shots in a row.
All right. I mean, I'll believe it. I mean, I want to believe it. Believe me, I want to believe in the G-Shot. I just need a little bit of convincing, is all.
Okay.
So what do you think of So like, how do you say that again? You know what? Your audio cuts off just a little bit at the front whenever you start talking. So sometimes like you'll talk for like a second and a half and I won't hear the first part. So it's like a setting in Discord. If we had more time to go over it, then we would, but we just can't. So so tell me real quick about so I wanted to talk about how you feel about montages these days. Like, do you still watch montages? Do you still enjoy them? Who are if you do, who are some of the people that you like right now? And when you're watching a montage, what do you look for specifically in order for that to stand out in your mind? Because I'm sure you still probably get linked to people's montages on Twitter like every day. Like, yo, Grizz, check out my video that I just posted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the thing about it is now, because like we were talking about, it's so overly saturated, I won't go back and watch a lot of montages if it's just one guy. Usually I'm more opportune to go after like team montages and stuff like that, where I know a lot of effort went into it. If they recorded for 6-9 months or something like that and put their best clips together, had their best editors work on it for another 2 or 3 months. Like, those are like the montages I'm really more apt to watch, unless somebody puts in there, hey, check out this Taj. I've been working on it for, 6 months, 8 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll definitely check it out. But if they say, oh, check out my week Taj, like, I'm not even going to click on that, dude. Like, and it's no hate against that person. It's not like I don't believe that you can hit good clips in a week. It's just that I want to see a maximum effort put into stuff. Yeah. And that's, to me, is more important. Because like I said, I pay attention to all the little details.
Let's go through the chronology here. Let's go through the history. So, like, the first big production montage that you had was probably the Matrix 1, right? On COD 4.
Yeah, that was the first one that really took off. I mean, my very first one was Thunderstruck on COD 2, but the one that really took a lot of time was definitely the Matrix on COD 4.
Yeah, you dropped it as like a 3-parter, and I think that you had been dropping teases for it too for maybe a couple weeks or like a month leading into it. And it was like an event when that montage came out. Nobody had ever done a montage like that. And then you had other guys like, you remember Pulse Fusions? You remember him?
Oh yeah, yep. Him, Six Sins, Blackouts. I mean,
the approaching montages in sort of like a stylistic fashion and really kind of taking it seriously. It wasn't really a thing until you came around and dropped that, original montage. Were you happy with that when it came out, or are you the kind of perfectionist where you thought like, no, maybe I shouldn't have put that clip in there?
No, I mean, I think it really turned out well. I mean, you got to think. I don't know if you remember back in the day, there was a website called Map Monkeys. They did
I
a
remember
lot of
everything.
and stuff.
Oh, I remember everything, my friend.
Well, that guy, the one that actually started that website, was the one that edited The Matrix, and his name was Ronan, and he never edited a montage in his life. Like, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, basically. And
Wow.
I mean, he just killed it with like the deagles off the wall, because none of us have ever seen it, so the standards I knew would be low enough where he could capitalize on that, and it turned out amazing.
Yeah.
The biggest thing in that for me was getting the most variety, because by that point, like we said, things were starting to get a little saturated. People were looking in the bottom left all the time, so I really wanted to get some difference, even if it was a triple. Like, if it's a random triple, to me that's better than a triple single in a spawn trap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about variety.
So then World War War came out, and you came out with Impulse, which was like another kind of I can't remember, was that a single montage or was that a 2-parter or a 3-parter? I think it was just a 1-parter, wasn't it?
Yep, it was just a single part, and that was edited by Operator Perry and what was the other guy's name? He's gonna hate me now.
No, it was, man, I know who you're talking about too. It was Operator Perry and fuck, what is his name, Grizz?
I don't know.
He's like still good friends with him. They play video games with him all the time. Oh my god, he was a part of Top Notch.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever. Anyways,
they all kind of rolled together. But anyway, yeah, we rolled that montage out. That one was kind of there's always been a thing in the back of my mind. When I released that montage, I was contacted by a company, and they wanted to, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but they wanted to actually start charging people to watch it early. And I think it was only like $1 or $1.25. And I'm like,
yep.
Dude, I've never charged for fucking watching a video, and I think that's retarded. And on and on and on. And I told him, I was like, you know what? If you're gonna do something like that, because I can't remember what they were giving me, like some free access to a website or something. I'm like, if you're gonna do that, I'm not really gonna promote it, and I don't want a dime. And they ended up making like I want to say it was like $8,000.
Oh no! Yeah. See, I don't. Yeah, I believe it. There were a lot of people that were super hyped on that montage. What I remember about that montage is like that was really around the time that I felt like that's when you noticed the standards had gone just real sky high, because there was so much murder in that montage that it was almost hard to follow. It was just like one quad feed after the other with like a 6 feed in there somewhere. You're chucking C4 at people and doing crazy shit with that. Like, it was a little overwhelming. When I watched it, I was like, oh my god, you had like 15 triples in there, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 16, and then it was like a month and a half that I recorded for it, and I hit 16 triples. And Operator Perry, on the last day, he's like, dude, I can't take any more triples, so don't submit any more triples to me. And I gave him 3 more within like 4 hours, and he's like, fuck you.
I remember there was one part where he just cut together just like 8 of them in a row at the end. And I could kind of feel like his pain as an editor, where it's just like, I have to put these in because they're triples. Because back then it was like a triple was still a big deal, and you were over here getting like, 20 of them or something like that. So then Modern Warfare 3 comes out, and you no, I'm sorry, was that no Modern Warfare 2 comes out, and you do The Matrix Reloaded for that one, right? Was that right? Did you do the Reloaded? Was Modern Warfare 2, right?
Yeah, and it was. Yeah, I broke that kind of into 3 different parts, and I was pretty happy with the way that one turned out. There's some really cheesy editing in there, but everybody loved that game. The Sleight of Hand Pro was there, and I don't know. Other than like the Painkiller and shit like that, like the game itself was just a really fun game to play. It was that game to me was a lot more about having fun.
When did you come up with the when did you come up with the idea of chucking a C4 in the air and then quick scoping it in front of someone?
Well, we were looking constantly for new things. The guy from Map Monkeys, Ronan, him and I, like, we found out about the speed sniping in COD 4. Like, we were playing around with it one day, just dicking off, and we actually found the speed sniping and started doing that. I don't think anybody even knows where that originated from, and we were just 2 guys messing around in a lobby.
I have no idea what's speed sniping. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's like COD 4, where you just hold your trigger button in, and you fire, and then as soon as you hear the click, you YY, and you can shoot like twice as fast.
Oh,
you
that's
see a lot
right.
of people stack no scoping with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it just for fun, but then like I told quite a few people like about it and how to do it, other montage makers, and then a month later, all I'm seeing is these +20s and +25 no scope. I'm like, what the fuck? So
yeah, you can almost shoot the M40 in COD 4 like a semi-automatic if you fire, and then as soon as you start pumping another round into the chamber, you just hit YY and you can no scope again right afterwards. So you can fire out 5 bullets like in the span of probably like 1 or 2 seconds, real fast.
Yeah. And
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say we were messing around with different things. The C4 shot, that one was more solo. I was just curious, man. I was like, I wonder if you can actually do this, because like I said, we had the Sleight of Hand Pro introduced, so. And it literally took me like an hour to hit it my first time, and by the time I got it down and was doing it for Taj's, I was hitting it probably at least 50% of the time I was shooting the C4 out of the air.
I tried a couple times to do it with I tried to do it with C4 and a Magnum in Black Ops 1, and I don't think I ever did it once. But walk me through your so when you would spend, because you would take you would take your time on these montages. You would capture for months. You wouldn't just capture for like a month. You would do like these miniature montages, but for like the big production ones, the ones that you would hype up, those ones you would like sit on your footage for like months, 6 months sometimes, 9 months, whatever, a whole year before you put something together. Can you tell me what did it feel like for you to spend all this time and energy into making this, one of these montages, and then finally for that video to go live? And you start seeing the likes come in, and you start seeing the comments come in, and you start seeing the tweets come in. What was that experience like for you back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, back in the day, man, it was like an event. Like, I was married to a different woman than I am now, and I would literally, get popcorn, you know what I mean? I would sit down with, a pack of smokes and some beer and just watch the fucking comments, and I would just hover on that bitch for hours. And like you said, the first one was The Matrix, which is... fucking Ronan, the guy that edited it, he was 3 months behind on the due date. And I'm like, dude, people are messaging me like crazy, cussing me out, all this other shit. I'm like, you've got to get this done. And he gets a hold of me the next day, and he goes, hey, I just want to let you know I lost all your clips. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because at that time, I was recording with a Dazzle, and my computer was just trash. So I didn't have the room on my computer for the storage, so I would just send them to him and then delete them. And he's like, dude, my computer crashed. I lost all your clips. I don't know what we're going to do.
No.
Normally, what most people would do at that point if they were bullshitting is they would wait for your reaction and then laugh and then tell you I'm just bullshitting. He waited 24 hours to come out and tell me the truth. So I'm thinking, oh my God, for a whole day, what am I going to tell these people that have been waiting so long?
That's brutal.
And I've got nothing to deliver. It was interesting, but I don't mind waiting that long, man. I think it's worth the wait. I wish a lot more people would take more time into it, and then we wouldn't have so much saturation. And the ones that you do have, would be worth the watch. So,
do you still enjoy COD these days? Are you looking forward to World War II?
Bro, I am so fucking ready for World War II. You have no idea, because even though I don't post a lot, I don't post every other day or every day like I used to back in the day, but almost every day. And if I had a better internet where I could actually stream, I would be no one would have missed anything. It would have been GRIZZ from back in 2010 or whatever till current. You never would have missed out on anything, because I always play. It's just whether or not I take the time to talk over a video and then upload it. Lazy as fuck, but I get on here and grind every day, man. My gameplay is still top notch.
Well, that's why streaming comes in so handy, because there's there were a lot of times when I'd be playing video games back in the day where I would capture something cool would happen, but the rest of the gameplay maybe it was kind of boring or uneventful, and so there was no reason to upload it. But if you have a group of regular viewers that are in there watching it live, when that one thing happens throughout the match, it's it makes it fun. So it's you never know when those things are going to happen, and they don't happen every match, but it really is a good fit for people like you and me, I would say. who still enjoy good gameplay. That's I try to be good at the game that I'm playing. That's still probably my number one focus, but doing it live in front of a bunch of people really makes it more of a inclusive experience. It's a lot of fun, man. And so you don't have really great internet where you live? Is that what the deal is?
No, I live in a little city, so I mean, our internet here, there's only like one internet provider, and it's just subpar. Not only that, but I'm also running wireless off my Xbox and my computer, so I don't really feel like running a cable, like drilling a hole through my floor and all that good stuff. So
yeah, that's gonna make it tough for sure. Yeah. So, which one of your montages would you say is your favorite montage, and why? Why is it your favorite?
My overall favorite Taj would have to be my very first one. The Thunderstruck montage was because, like I said, I spent so much time and so much money and so much effort to find out it was something so small, but it didn't matter because, it was so much fun to do. It was so worth it to me to get that montage out there. And I think I on my second or third one, I was like, yeah, this might be my last Taj. I'm not going to stick around there very long because YouTube wasn't even really a thing. I was uploading to Google Video.
Is that right?
So
that is right. Yeah, because I wouldn't even go to YouTube to look up your videos. I would search GRIZZ on Google to see if I could find your stuff.
Yeah, and I think YouTube was out, but it was kind of in its infancy. It hadn't really caught on yet. So Google Video was where it was at, and then it was actually shared by links. It's kind of scary,
Yeah.
If it reverted right now, like back to the way it is then, like you just be getting spammed all day with inboxes. Check out my Google Video.
Yeah. Which was the first montage that you did or video that you did that got a little bit of views? Like, what was the first spike that you remember? Like, wow, fucking 2,000 people watched this montage.
That would definitely have to be The Matrix, because I think that one had like over 3,000 likes in like 5 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah, that I can't remember how many. If you look up that video now, it probably has like over. I'm guessing it has like hundreds of thousands of views. If it's still, is it even still up? Can you find it?
I think it's down.
No.
YouTube's gotten so retarded with its bullshit.
Well, they kind of had to. There was no way they were gonna be a profitable company by allowing that stuff. It was a good time. It was a good time back then. I remember just the only thing back then was like, all you had to do was upload an unlisted video with the song that you wanted to use and then leave it up for a few hours and see if it got automatically copyright flagged. And if it didn't, you were good to go. But sometimes you would there happened to me a couple times where I would spend like a night, 2 or 3 nights of, spending a lot of time editing, because I used to edit all those videos myself, only to have it copyright struck or audio claimed like 3 days later, which was really frustrating.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I think I remember the Matrix ones back in the day having I want to say they had anywhere between like 200,000 and 500,000 views, which back then was like insane. That was an insane amount of views back in the day.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how much it had. I want to say it was over 1 million, but maybe not. Maybe it wasn't up that high yet.
You might be right. I don't remember. It's been so long. So when did
muted?
But when did you notice So something in you said you were going to stop after 3 videos, so something got you to keep going. What was that? Were you starting to get more views at that point and you thought like, oh, okay, well, this is turning into a thing?
This didn't mean anything to me. Now it's completely different because now views equal money. You know what I mean? And back then views didn't really equal shit, But what I was enjoying was people I was playing Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4, and these guys were coming in the lobby like, oh shit, it's GRIZZ, dude, I love that last video you did. It was getting that recognition back for the effort and work that I put into it. Yeah, that's what I craved. It wasn't to make money, It wasn't about monetization. It was strictly about having fun. Yeah. And that's why in a lot of those earlier COD 2 videos you see, some people play to win, some people play to, show off skill. I play to make people say, what the fuck?
Yeah. I remember you used to play, you had a couple clips where you would play with the BAR, the light machine gun, and you would no scope and try to get headshots with that thing from across the
Oh yeah, COD 2, baby. baby. Yeah.
Back when, like, I think
was
in
a
COD 2, every headshot was a one-shot kill. I could be wrong, but you were
everything except for a pistol, and a pistol would get you a one-shot headshot if it was point blank. But everything else, all the LMGs, I don't know if that was long range, but LMGs and sniper rifles and you know, your rifles in general, your M1 Grands, yeah, those were all one-shot headshots. So I played on low sensitivity, and then I went to medium, and I think I was on medium when I was hitting all those headshots, and then I did the V high montage, and I could never go back to that slower sensitivity. Man, I was getting slapped. So
I'm in the middle these
stayed
days.
up.
I play on I play on 6 vertical and 8 horizontal, so I can spin around a little bit quicker. Like in Modern Warfare Remastered, I think that's a good setup because there's no jetpacks, so you don't need to worry about your sensitivity being that high going up and down because nobody's jumping like doing double jumps. But I play with zzirGrizz these days. He plays on 18 sensitivity, and I don't know how. I can't, like, my brain doesn't work that fast to play on that high of a sensitivity. What are you playing on?
15 on MWR right now, so I'm not quite as high as zzirGrizz, but I gotta be. I'm with you there. Like, you don't have the boosting, but you do have a lot of multi-level maps. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of windows, a lot of head glitches and stuff like that. But you got to keep it low enough where you can get the fine-tuned shots if you're a sniper. So
that's
for
true.
me,
Yeah, that's true too.
Me, 15's like bang on.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on and reminiscing with me. It's been a lot of fun to go back and talk about that. That was such it was such a grind, and I remember spending, like, there were a lot of nights where I didn't get a lot of sleep because I was spending so much time on videos and capturing, and I'm sure that the case was the same for you, but you were having so much fun that you didn't even care, and that that to me was like such a sacred time, you know, because like the fires of my YouTube career were forged during the kind of GRIZZ montage era.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people don't know this, and I don't know if I've even really talked about it a whole lot, but when it went from, and then, you know, OpticX got a hold of me and he's like, GRIZZ, you know, you need to do your contract with Machinima, you know, because you just missed out on like 13 grand this month, you know what I mean? Like, right after that, I actually went through a divorce, and I ended up losing, like, my job. I lost my car. I ended up losing my house. The house built for me when I was 21 years old. So I mean, I was doing pretty good for myself. But then, like, through that divorce, like, all the walls came tumbling down. That was like right as The Matrix, I believe, was being released back in 2008.
Wow.
So
yeah, I had no idea.
Like, a lot of people, yeah. Like, I was sitting there grinding and, like, playing games, and I could hear them, like, towing my car out of my driveway, and I'm just, like, shaking my head, you know. I'm like, fuck, everything's just falling apart. And if it wasn't for, you know, the fans, and if it wasn't for Machinima and all this other stuff, it would have been so hard to get back up from that.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I went from basically having nothing, losing everything, and then, you know, I had to wait like 2 or 3 months for the Machinima contract to kick in because of the, you know, it bounced back, man, and I was able to get a house and get a new setup. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that because of their support, because of the fans, they actually helped me more than I'll be able to ever help them. So
yeah, no, I totally know what you mean, man. There've been a couple times when life has a tendency of happening sometimes, and it's not always awesome. And I've been in the middle of a couple rough spots, and they 1000% made my life so much easier and less stressful. Even though it was already, like, overwhelmingly stressful, they, you know, the viewers and the fans prevented it from, you know, really getting to an unmanageable state. And that's, you know, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great that you mentioned that. I try to give as much recognition as I can to the fans, especially the old school ones, because they're the ones keeping the lights on, you know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't do this for a full-time job now, and like I said, unless I could go back to making 6 figures again, I don't think I ever would. But I enjoy doing it, and like I said before, if anything ever happens with YouTube where they quit paying altogether, I'm still gonna make videos. Like,
yeah,
it's in my nature. I'll be 40, 50 years old, and I'm still gonna make videos. It's just get over it, bro. If you don't like it,
I'm sure a lot of people are really happy to hear that you have plans to play World War II, and hopefully you get some better internet in your town, man, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to watch you stream. you know, and so yeah, hopefully
a lot, dude. On the uploads, you know, I fell off a lot when it came to daily uploads or anything like that. And to me, I didn't have it in me. And then these last 3 or 4 CODs were flying around, and I just couldn't get into it. You know, it just killed it for me. It really did. But you know, with this being back to where I started, World War II, which was, you know, where COD 2 was based, and boots on ground, it's for me, it's almost like the feeling of starting over and the nostalgia all like wrapped into one. So I'm gonna be uploading a hell of a lot more.
Yeah,
and I will have mine.
Ride that nostalgia train, man. That's cool. That's what I did with Modern Warfare Remastered. It's, you know, this was a really, it's not over yet. The cycles that we still have like 5 months left in this COD, but I got a lot of bang for this buck. I had a real good time going back and playing COD 4 again, and just playing game battles with the boys has just been such a blast. And I didn't hate the jetpack CODs, but it felt so good to go back to the basics of COD. And you know, I got a chance to play World War II a week ago, and it was great, man. It was like we only played a few maps, but it felt terrific. I think you're gonna dig it a lot.
Oh yeah, I could tell from the gameplay. I was watching every fucking video I could click on, bro. I was like, oh, gotta watch another one, gotta watch another one. My wife's just looking at me with a stupid look on her face, you know, and I'm just like, dude, this is awesome.
Does she plays COD too, yeah?
She plays COD. She actually quit. She hasn't played in almost a year. She started up her own photography business, so she's always on the go and setting up clients and doing photo shoots and coming home and editing late. So
yeah,
she doesn't really play a whole lot, but she said, I'm gonna try to give World War II, you know, I'm gonna try to give it a whirl, see how it comes. So, but yeah, I'm fucking pumped for it, dude. Can't wait to make videos, montages.
Well, let's. I want to play some pubs with you when that game comes out. So I'm gonna, you know, stay following me on Twitter. I'll send you a DM, and we'll get some fun sessions in here. We'll get like an old school lobby, man. We'll get you, me, Sandy. Maybe throw Blame Truth and XCal in there. We'll just wreck some shit for a few hours. All right. Well, thanks again for your time, dude. I hope you have a good weekend, and I appreciate everything you did for this whole scene.
And you're welcome, man. Like I said, everybody's helped me out a lot more than they'll ever know. So, you know, hats off to you as well.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.